I'm often asked that same question about, you know, why should fans come here to the Cauliflower Alley Club? And I guess I started as a fan, and after a half century of enjoying a career in the wrestling business, I never stopped being a fan. So I know that when I come here, I take away much more than what little I might give for the experience. But where else can you go and know that you're going to see people like NWA champion Harley Race, former NWA champion Terry Funk, AWA heavyweight champion Nick Bockwinkel, and then you start running down the list of names of people that come here, you know, for the first time. And it's a relaxed atmosphere. The cost of everything, including lodging and everything here, is extremely reasonable. It's an exciting town to be in, and knowing that you can come here, have great food, see some of the wrestling legends, have casual time. There's time to answer questions, take pictures, and I think it's a fun experience for me, and I think anybody that comes here will find after they've been here it's a fun experience for them too. I encourage everybody to come, and once you come one time, we'll have you hooked and you'll keep coming. The next presenter is very close to me because he was the publisher and co-author of my autobiography, and we developed a great friendship over the period of time. You already know in the program who the recipient of the award is, and I have to tell you, in 1975, I was co-holder of the Florida Tag Team titles with a guy named Roger Kirby. And I left Florida and went to Dallas to manage Mongolian Stomper, which I had never been a manager before, and that opened up a whole new chapter in my life. Roger Kirby went a separate direction, and we didn't see each other for 35 years. And, so yesterday, I saw Roger Kirby for the first time in 35 years. Scott Teal, please come up here, and we're going to honor Roger Kirby with the Men's Wrestling Award for this year. All right.
In the real early 1960s, Ray Stevens and Roy Shire were wrestling Bobby Manigault and Johnny Weaver. During the match, the Shires took the tag rope and began to choke Bobby Manigault. Out of the crowd comes this young man, runs to the ring, gets up there, tries to take the rope away from the Shires. Shires proceeds to kick this man in the head, cut him open, and the young man went to the hospital. Had to have stitches. That young man sitting right there, Roger Kirby. That's how he got started in the business as a fan who hit the ring. But he got his start in Dayton in 1960 as Wild Bill Baker. And in 1962, he went to Indianapolis, wrestled for Jim Barnett, and they changed his name to Roger Kirby. And before that, actually, he had wrestled with Dennis Hall and Roger and Dennis Dolly. In 1970, he went to work for Gus Karras as Nature Boy Roger Kirby. And in May 20th, 1971, he won the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship from Danny Hodge. I did some checking today with some records with the help of Vance Nevada. We found that Roger Kirby wrestled Danny Hodge 63 times during that time period. All 63 matches, Roger was shooting and Danny was working. Ask him, he'll tell you. His last match was in Rockford, Illinois in 1986, and he went to work in 1985 for the Kansas City Star. He held the Gulf Coast Tag Team Championship, Central States Tag Team, Pacific Northwest Tag, Central States, NWA Junior, Georgia Tag, Florida Tag, Mid-America, Western States, WWC North American, WWA Tag, Southern Tag, and the Western States Alliance. Just about every major title that was to be held. Roger means a lot to me. He came into Tennessee in mid-70s. I was just a college kid working my way through college, working for Dick Goulas, the promoter there. And Roger and I formed a really cool friendship. We spent many hours together on the road. And as a young man who was still I was in the business, but I was still enamored with the wrestlers. And it was so cool to be able to, for somebody like Roger Kirby, such a star, to take time to ride up and down the road with me rather than be one of the other boys. And I just want to introduce him tonight, bring him up here. He's very deserving of this award, and I'm proud that I'm able to do this. Give Roger Kirby a nice warm welcome. Yeah.
Lock the doors back there. You know, normally I got you suckers trapped. Normally, I start to talk and people get up and turn their TVs off. Well, you don't have a TV to turn off. Anyway, no, I'll shut up here. I really appreciate this award from the Cauliflower Alley Club. But I was really blessed when I started wrestling because it was with Barnett and Doyle. And as a young guy trying to get experience, Doyle had Detroit, Barnett had Indianapolis, Al Half had Columbus, Ohio. So I was introduced in the early 60s to probably the best talent in the world at that time. And I had so many people to thank as I tried to get experience. I would like to thank them personally, but damn near all of them's dead now. So there was Bruiser, Snyder, Kaminsky, Johnny Valentine, the Sheik in Detroit. Johnny Valentine lived in Newport, Kentucky, right across from Cincinnati. But Bruiser, Snyder, Kaminsky made sure us young guys got to the matches. They would come and pick us up, drive us. I asked, why are you driving us young guys? You're the main events. They said, well, if you ride with us, you've got to stay and watch all the matches. And that's the way you learn. If you wrestle and go home, you don't learn nothing. You learn by watching us. And they kept talking about telling the story. I sort of scratched my head, hell, I can tell stories, I can't wrestle. Anyway, it just, everything sort of fell into place, So, I'm asking Johnny Valentine one day, I said, they want me to tell stories. So Johnny explained, that how a match is put together. So as time went on and I learned a little bit more, I was very good mechanically, but man, I didn't know crap about psychology or why I done what I did. I done what I was told to do, or tried to do what I was told to do. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. But anyway, it was just an experience. So for like 4 or 5 years, I didn't win a match. I was 3 months here, 3 months in Tennessee, 3 months in Georgia, 3 months in Florida, 3 months in North Carolina, and never won a match. I'm thinking, something's wrong with this picture. But I'm gaining experience. So, 1964, Barnett said, they need somebody in Mexico City. Salvador Lugaros, the promoter. He said, would you like to go to Mexico City? Well, hell, I'm just 21, 22 years old. I'm thinking, man, this isn't real smart. I don't speak Spanish. They don't speak English. And I got to go wrestle them guys. Well, worse yet, when I got down there, they work on the right side. We work on the left side. So now I was really confused. And to give one of them bumps was almost impossible. Now I'll give you a little demonstration. Little blue demon weighed maybe 165 pounds. I went to body slamming, got him up over my head. I went to throw him down, and he's still there. He won't let go. It's like trying to body slam a spider. So I rolled him down my legs, got one foot on him, and boom, boom. After that, I man, I was a legend. I went to the ring, and I owned the ring. Because Santos was probably over 50 by then, and I just look at him and he'd almost quiver. But it was a hell of an experience for like 6 months. And so I come back from Mexico, you know, right arm all tore up, you know. But anyway, it was just an experience. So as life went on, I gained more experience. I found more out about telling stories. So, yeah, just every territory you went to, you learned a little bit something different. So I went to Florida. Eddie Graham had bleach blonde hair, and so did I. He said, I'm going to teach you stuff that where I made mistakes. Well, my first trip in Florida, and I didn't do interviews yet. I'd never had to talk. So he put me with Bob Orton Sr. because he could make interviews. My first trip, Bob Orton and I sat in the back seat. Front seat, driver was Rowdy Red Roberts. His co-pilot was Larry Hamilton and Missouri Mauler. And we went to Fort Lauderdale and talked about 6 hours of madness. You know, to be trapped in a car with Bob Orton Sr., Missouri Mauler. You know, at one point we got up and walked out of a restaurant because Larry didn't want to eat there. And we're driving down out of the parking lot. Rowdy Red Roberts looks out the window and said, I'm sorry, God, I'm not part of this. So from there, I went to a number of different territories. Ended up in California, and Roy Shires was the promoter. And I told Roy the situation about what I'd done in Dunkirk, Indiana, the matches, and jumped in the ring, and he almost kicked my ear off. Ray Stevens overheard me telling Roy, and I was in with Roy. So everything was fantastic. He lectured me every night, taught me, you know, every match is supposed to be like a street fight. And Vince Paul Diamond's, well, she's not down there, Paul Diamond's ex-wife's here. And so, you know, I wrestled Paul Diamond a few times, and he'd start to make a comeback and he'd look away. And Roy gave me all kinds of shit. You know, the people reacted great. Roy said, in a street fight, when they look away, what do? You knock them out. He said, well, what am I supposed to do? And that's why I asked Roy. Roy said, as soon as he looks away, knock his ass out. So, a little bit later I did. You know, he kept looking away and I keep snatching him, jerking him down. So, anyway, everywhere I went, I learned a little bit more and more and more. While I was on Paul Diamond list, I wrestled the bear in San Francisco. Took me several times because my blood pressure was always too high and they wouldn't let me wrestle the bear. So I went out, finally one night my blood pressure was way down and I got to wrestle the bear. So the bear just loved the crap out of me because I know he's getting Jack Daniels in the goat. So Bear and I went out. We wrestled about 10-15 minutes. Bear was just fantastic. Whether I went behind him, tried to front face lock him, he'd back drop me, I'd hook his arm and he'd hit the ropes and shoot me off. And it was just a fantastic match. I come back after the match and asked Roy, how did I do? How did I do? He said, you had a better match with the bear than you did Paul Diamond. So, it's, you know, I started 50 years ago, and I'll shut up and quit telling stories because there's more people involved in this than me, but I had to try to follow Terry. So, I had to tell some good stuff.
If you could go 20 more seconds, you're going to break a Kiyosado's record.
Yeah, Yeah, but my table partner down there broke all records last night. I'm trying to stay up here and break his record. Anyway, no, I just really appreciate it. It was 24-year unbelievable ride, and I not only learned, hey, after all the matches with Danny Hodge, you had to learn. There was times that Danny'd have me hooked and I'd just lay down and play dead. Danny said, fight. Hey, sooner or later you're going to let me up. You're going to look bad, not me. So, but what a gracious person Danny was. Harley was great. He used to tell the karate story, or Terry was telling the karate story.
Broke the record.
Okay, one more story. And I'll get on. Harley and I was in West Palm Beach, Florida, and some karate kids had their little gears on and come up and told Harley how good their coach was, their trainer. And the trainer could beat Harley at any time. Harley said, just bring him one down. So, following match in West Palm Beach, here the karate guy is, all of his karate stuff on. Harley invites him in the ring, and Harley's left-handed, which made it more fun. So the karate guy went, yeah, like that, and Harley just left hooked him, knocked his ass right out. One the referee dusts the guy off, gets him up. The guy does the same thing again. Boom! Knocks him out again. Harley knocked the guy out 3 times. Finally, they drug him out under the ropes. And so much for that. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. Thanks for you guys.
Thank you, Roger.
Very good, Roger.
Here we are once again, Las Vegas, Nevada. C.A.C., the Cauliflower Alley Club, the yearly reunion, and of course, Mr. Wonderful, the original Mr. Wonderful of professional wrestling, Roger Riddle. Yes. Can you feel it? Can you feel that amazing energy? Well, you can feel it a lot more if you come here in person. Now, quite seriously, why should you be here? Because you care about professional wrestling? Because you've grown up watching the legends of this business? Because professional wrestling means something to you? If you do not come to this next 2011 C.A.C. convention and meet your heroes, meet those people with whom you've grown up, meet those people you've watched hours and hours, and maybe you've seen them in person. When's the last time you said thank you? When's the last time you walked up to J.J. Dillon and said thank you? When's the last time you walked up to any of your heroes and said thank you? If you do not come to the next event, there are people you would want to thank. Take 2. If you do not come to the next C.A.C. reunion, this amazing once-a-year event, there are people whom you would want to thank. You would have wanted to be there to thank them, but you won't have the opportunity ever again. You'll never have the opportunity because some of those people won't be here again. They won't be on this planet again. So let's set some priorities. What are your priorities? Oh, I have to pay my rent. Oh, I have to make my house payment. Oh, I can't get off work. And then the person's dead. And you never have the opportunity. Now, when we're doing this interview right now, We're at the 2010 C.A.C. reunion. I have an opportunity of a lifetime. I have an opportunity to officially thank one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Rip the Profile Hawk. I have the opportunity to have him come out in front of hundreds and hundreds of the legends, of the greatest that have ever been in this industry. I have the opportunity to tell him, Rip Hawk, if it weren't for you, I would not be here. I was able, at the height of my career, I had top billing over the heavyweight championship of the world. I hoped to sell out major arenas all over the United States and up into Canada, and had it not been for that one man, Rip Hawk, that never would have happened. I have the opportunity to stand in front of hundreds and hundreds of living legends in this industry, the best of the best that this sport has ever seen. These are my family members, these are my brothers, these are my sisters. This is the most precious, the most wonderful family. It's so dear to me. And when I am able to face those people tomorrow night at that amazing banquet, I will let them know that if it were not for this one man, Rip Hawk, I would not have this family. I would not have the opportunities that I had. And this wrestling, beautiful, wonderful, fabulous, precious wrestling family would not have me. Because he inspired and motivated many people. Ric Flair, would we have had Ric Flair had it not been for Rip Hawk? No, of course not. Would we have had me? No. Would we have had dozens and dozens of more people? No, we would not. What happens if I were to say, oh, well, I'm not going to do this. I'll wait till next year, or the year after, or the year after. Well, what's Rip's age right now? Is Rip 76, 77, 78? Well, hopefully he will outlive everybody else. Hopefully he'll go on for hundreds and hundreds of years. In fact, if he were here, standing here with us right now today, I would say, Rip, sincerely, all that I am is as a result of you. My entire life changed when I was 14 years old as a result of you. You gave me this beautiful, wonderful, precious life, and I have a gift for you. I wish you, with every ounce of my soul and my being, I wish you long life. May you live to be 250 years old, and may the last voice you ever hear be mine. But seriously, I have the opportunity to thank Rip Hawk. And if I did not do that, if I had to hitchhike to be here, I would have done it. You have that opportunity too. Get an autograph. Tell the person thank you. What in the world are you waiting for? You want to join an organization? Where can you join an organization that's a philanthropic organization that helps the people in this industry? Where can you be around the boys? Do you know the boys? For those of you who've never been in the squared circle, the boys, the wrestlers, male and female, it's a term of endearment. Come meet us. You love what we do in the ring. You like to see what we do. Maybe you fantasize about doing that. You want to get close to it? Shake hands. Shake hands with these amazing people. Feel the energy from these people. Feel the passion that they have. Learn about the wrestling business. Learn about it from those of us who have been there, who have done it, who have made that squared circle our home.